In its quest to provide an open forum for discussion of controversial issues, this station allows hosts and their guests to express themselves without any significant censorship. You're advised that any views expressed by the hosts or their guests are not necessarily the views of Tug Entertainment or its partners.
It's time for Motherhood Talk Radio, the most powerful voice in women's issues today, with Sandra Beck and Christy Holly. Ladies, Motherhood Talk Radio is here to give you a powerful platform by giving you interesting, inspiring, and influential information as you navigate everything from childcare to corporate formation. Motherhood Talk Radio has interviews with best-selling authors, gurus of happiness, and women of interest who every single day make our world a better place for our families. Motherhood Talk Radio, powered by Motherhood Incorporated, is on the air now. Moms, this really is your show. Motherhood Talk Radio. And now, here are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Christy Holly.
Hey, mamas, this is Sandra Beck, and I'm here with Christy Holly and Doris Rivas-Brecky, and we've got a great show today as we come into, really the thick of the holiday season. I don't know about you guys, but I'm wiped out from Thanksgiving. I didn't even do that much.
Well, I'm wiped out, too, and I did a whole bunch of stuff.
I know, but you have makeup on today. Your hair is fixed. Did your mom do your hair? Because you walked in looking amazingly good. I got to tell you, it didn't work for me.
I'm like, you must need glasses because, well, thank you. Thank you for that. No, I did get the gray out, but, yeah, I don't know. It's been a long 4 days, I'll tell you that. Or longer.
Yeah, it's been longer than that, honey. It's been like 6 days since Thanksgiving, but that's okay. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, that would be 6 days.
Well, see how crazy I am? I can't even count.
Oh, well, but you did look good. You walked in with your makeup, your clothes matched. I have on my favorite pair of pants that's on its last legs. It's got so many little fine tears and rips in them. They're like old friends, and I want to wear them every day until they die.
Well, you can.
Yeah, they fall off, though. And if I put stuff in my pockets, because they're cargo pants, which I'm apt to do.
Put stuff in your pockets.
I do. I took all the stuff out of my pockets. I had in my pockets today, for those of you who really care about my pants, I had a Logitech wireless mouse, 5 little zip drives, a USB port, my iPhone, a handful of batteries, and a Swiss Army knife. So wow. I was... they probably added like 4 pounds to my pants.
That's good resistance, but get a purse.
I'm not going to carry a purse. I can't do it. I can go out with a purse, but in my day-to-day activities, Christy, I can't do the purse. I don't know why.
I don't either. We're going to make changes, though, for New Year's, right?
Yes, she says with no confidence. I'm the MacGyver of motherhood. I fill my pants with gadgets. Love it or leave it. So, okay, how was your Thanksgiving? Let's talk about Turkey Day. What'd you do? You had turkey?
We had our homegrown turkey that we raised, and it was very, very good. Excellent, I will add. It weighed 37 pounds.
Wow. Was that without the head?
Yeah, that was all like plucked and like ready to go in the oven.
Who plucked it?
Actually, Greg did.
Okay, so he slaughtered it, he plucked it, because, your daughter asked me to come over. She says, San, do you want to come over and see our turkeys before we kill them?
I know, the kids were wandering around the house going, when are we going to kill the turkeys? When are we going to kill the turkeys? And my little one's all, when are we going to slit their throats? I'm like, oh. Nice. I know, but it was so good.
Fun for the whole family.
Fun for the whole family. And we had like 25, maybe 30 people over. Wow. So my mom and I prepared.
Never know.
Huh?
We could have just came over. You'd never know.
I know. We had enough food for an army, I swear. And then we went shopping after that.
Oh, for Black Friday?
Yeah.
Did you get any good deals?
Crazy. I did, but now I always do this. I always buy stuff, and then I think like, I can bring it back. So I always have the buyer's remorse.
Really? What'd you buy?
I didn't get. Well, I bought the Xbox thing, game with Kinect. Well, and the thing is, I stood in that darn electronics line for me because that's for Greg and I. So I got the boys a remote control car, a big one, and some keyboard for the kids, and games. I didn't get as much as I wanted to. Like, it just wasn't as, my sister ditched me, so whatever. She's not going with me next year.
I don't do Black Friday. I got to tell you, a lot of things in this life I do. That's not one of them. I can't take the humanity. I can't take the stress. You know, everybody running around. You know, on Black Friday, all I did was hook up Netflix to our Wii, and we sat and watched TV.
Well, that's good. But it's fun, though. I mean, if you know what you're going, like, if you are prepared for all those people, it's sort of fun, you know? I mean, even if you aren't really out there to get, like, you know, the deal of the century, it's fun.
See, I think you like people. I really don't like people as a general rule. You know, I go out and I'm like, you smell bad. You're digging through your wallet for something. You had 15 minutes in line to look for whatever it is you're looking for, and you're going to dig through your, like, satchel once you get up to the head of the line. Come on, you're killing me. I think I stood in line for 3 hours, and this man behind me was talking my head off. You probably would have liked him because he was talking like all these computers and stuff, and I didn't. And half the stuff, I'm like, yeah. There was nobody to save me. I mean, he was a nice man, but he was just talking my head off. Yeah, well, that's your own fault for standing in line for 3 hours. I'm sorry. I can't give you anything. I know. Well, it's like you commit, and then you think like, oh, I can't leave now. You know, you're like, okay, it won't be that much longer, and then it is. And you can't get out of line because you've already wasted all that time in line, so might as well stay in line and get what you came for. Well, props to you, girlfriend, because I couldn't do it. But I know, Doris, you've got some information about shopping and retailing this holiday season.
I do, and I have a new statistic that I just picked up from my favorite ABC World News. And this was last night. They said $1.2 billion, that's with a B, was spent yesterday on Cyber Monday.
We love Cyber Monday. We just click and click and click.
Yes, well,
did you click?
Did.
Yeah, I did click. I will click on Cyber Monday. I will not stand in line for 3 hours and talk to serial killers, but I will sit in the comfort of my own living room completely by myself and shop.
Well, supposedly that was 20% up from last year. So much for the recession. I know,
and there's like no H1N1 or SARS to keep us at home.
Yeah. But if I can just do one plug here since we're talking retail, and I know, Sandra, you're really into this. Another statistic I got was the average American will spend $704 on holiday gifts and goodies, totaling $465 billion this holiday. Now, if that money was spent entirely on U.S. products, it would create 4.6 million jobs in the U.S.
If we could find U.S. products, I'm just saying.
Well, excellent point.
Right?
So anyway, what this one show was talking about, that if we as Americans just spent $64 of that $704 that you're going to spend on gifts, that would result in 200,000 new jobs.
Wow. Though, you know, I'm going to spend $64 tonight at the Japanese restaurant in town. But they live here. Does that count?
No, it's got to be made in America.
Well, they weren't made in America, but the food is.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know how you, I mean, it's okay.
How do you get jobs from that? I don't understand. If we spend
they
$64 or something.
They describe when you see these shows, they show how it all goes about, where once you buy the product, if it's made in America, then they go to the town where that particular product was made, and they show how it goes about, hiring and so forth. So
Well, and it's a good idea, but then we'd have to look at everything in Walmart. Everything in Walmart is made overseas, and there's a price to pay for cheap goods. And I don't know, Doris, we're willing to cough up any more money in this economy than we already are to keep the money here. I think everybody's just like, if I can get an Xbox for $99 or a Kindle for $79, I don't care where it's made. I'm not saying that I do. I do.
Right. Well, I think that's part of the reason that they're showing these shows is to try to get people to care. So.
Yeah. I mean, I care. It just, if it comes down to I can stretch my dollar in this market further, right. It's tough.
Right. I hear you.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the latest that I got.
Well, and I think one of the things I like to do is go to My Simon and Nextag because they tend to have really good searches for around the country of where you can buy different products for different prices. Because, it's amazing. I do some shopping for my company for clients during the holiday season, ordering client gifts for some of my clients. And if I put in my zip code, which is more rural, and I put in the zip code of some of my clients, which are Beverly Hills, Bel Air, Santa Barbara, Boca Raton, really high-priced properties. Do you know that a lot of the times the web will give me a higher price because of those zip codes?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Seems a little unfair to me.
Pardon me?
Seems a little unfair to me.
Well, your computer has an IP address. It's registered with a zip code, and when you log onto a site, they know exactly where you're logging in from, and you can very easily scale your product to go, well, somebody in Beverly Hills can pay $400, for this necklace, and somebody in Acton can pay $400.
Yikes.
Wow.
Yeah, very exciting.
Like
very exciting things on the web.
Scary.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, listen, you guys, I'm going to take us to commercial break. My name is Sandra Beck, and I am the host of Motherhood Talk Radio, along with Christy Holly and our Motherhood Minute expert, Doris Rivas-Brecky. And we are going to welcome Linda Franklin today. She is smart, sexy, independent, and proud to be over 40. At least that's what it says on her book cover. And her company, she's got two companies, The Real Cougar Woman and Shining Service Worldwide. She's authored a book called Don't Ever Call Me Ma'am, which is the Real Cougar Woman Handbook, which is just such a great read. It's put together through Messenger House, and you can find that book online. It's an easy read. It's fun and friendly. And when we come back from the break, we are going to welcome her. I want you guys to check us out on iTunes under Motherhood Talk Radio.
Mom, here's your show, Motherhood Talk Radio, giving you interesting, inspiring, and influential information as you navigate everything from childcare to corporate formation. This is Motherhood Talk Radio, and we'll be right back after these. The Multi-Ethnic Church with Mark DeMoss, Thursday afternoons at 1 noon Central, is a show that passionately addresses the question, if the kingdom of heaven is not segregated, then why on earth is your local church?
They call us diverse, what color for good? It's like a freak show in your neighborhood.
Yes, increasingly, our diverse population and the diverse families it's producing is reshaping the face of the local church as people are beginning to recognize the power and beauty of walking, working, and worshiping God together with others of different backgrounds. How can your church overcome the obstacles, and why should you even try? Join a live chat with guests from around the country and the world to learn the effectiveness of churches in the 21st century beyond race and class distinction. This show has its pulse on what it will take for the church to find real reconciliation in our generation. So tune in for the Multi-Ethnic Church with Mark DeMoss, Thursday afternoons at 1 noon Central, here on TogiNet.com. Renowned and gifted psychic medium Sylvia Rossi explores the mysteries of this life, the afterlife, and the unseen world that surrounds us all in the show called Make Contact with Sylvia Rossi, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Central here on TogiNet. Sylvia Rossi with her special guests and other fellow psychics invite you to call in and make contact with the world beyond and get answers to your questions. Psychic medium Sylvia Rossi has been sharing her gift professionally for the last 17 years. Sylvia has made it her mission to help individuals and families understand their eternal connection to loved ones that have passed on, bringing relief and comfort to countless souls who have been touched by her gift. She's had the privilege of meeting and working with many psychologists who continue to recommend their clients to her when conventional methods have failed. Now it's your turn to make contact with host and psychic medium Sylvia Rossi. Wednesdays at 2, 1 p.m. Central on TogiNet.com. Welcome back to Motherhood Talk Radio, the most powerful voice in women's issues. For more information, check out the website, motherhoodtalkradio.com. Now, let's get back to the show with your hosts, Sandra Beck and Christy Holly.
Hey, mamas, this is Sandra Beck, and I'm here with Doris Rivas-Brecky and Christy Holly, and our guest today is the eminently delightful Linda Franklin. Linda, welcome to the show.
Whoa. I just heard a bad noise.
Well, we like any entrance you make.
Maybe it's that here in New York, we've got some really bad weather, so maybe that's affecting it.
That is. Maybe that is. So we're going to talk about balance today, Linda. And you not only run a company, you are an author, you're a prominent person in the community. You also have a charity, Shining Service Worldwide, and a new puppy.
Oh.
I got to tell you, we're struggling with balance over here. Me, Doris, and Christy, man, we just get up and roll with it. It's kind of like being shot out of a cannon in the morning.
Yep. That's what you have to do. I don't think there's any such thing as real balance. I think it was probably something invented by God knows whom, probably meant to make us feel bad.
Probably.
When you think about it, they get up. Well, I don't have one, but they used to. They get up, they go to work, and like everything else falls on our shoulders except for the few repairs around the house. I mean, you're right. How do we? I mean, it's like, where do you even begin to balance things?
Well, I don't think you can. I mean, every day is going to be a different day, and some days, maybe your kids get more attention because they're not feeling well, or maybe some days your business really needs something because you're on a deadline, or you need a rest, so you take some time off to go to the spa. But every day is a different day, and I think whatever needs to be done, we do it. But not, maybe it isn't balanced, but, it all seems to get done somehow.
It does. It doesn't always get done in a pretty way, does it, Christy?
No. That little laundry fairy, I'm waiting for her to come to my house.
Oh, yeah. She's stuck on the freeway with the refrigerator fairy, the gas fairy, and the cooking and cleaning fairy.
I know.
Yes. The best thing that ever happened to me is when I live in an apartment in New York. I'm up on the 32nd floor, and the best thing that ever happened to me was when I was able to put in a washer-dryer in my apartment, because up until that happened, I had to go down to the basements, and I didn't like it when other people were down there, and I was working on Wall Street at the time, so the only time that I could figure to go down there was like 6:30 on Saturday morning. So here I was after a hard week at work, doing the laundry up and down. So when I got the washer dryer, it was like, oh, thank you, God, that was like the best thing that had ever happened.
Oh, my gosh. I can only imagine you would not be the laundry fairy. You'd be the laundry other word. Saturday morning.
The other word, yes.
We all know what that other word is.
Mm.
Linda, do you think it's gotten easier? Like, you're kind of, in my mind, I look at you as a mentor for women who are following in the footsteps behind you, because you were the first Canadian woman, right, on the New York Board of Trade. Is that right?
No, I was the first Canadian woman to have her own seat on the New York Stock Exchange.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then run an all-male trading department. So do you think it's gotten easier for women? Yeah, I think so. But it's never as easy as it is for the men. No matter how much progress we make, we're usually following them somehow. And that's not a bad thing. I think the mistake women make is that men are our enemies, and they're really not, because if you cultivate really good guys and if you cultivate very good male mentors, they can really help you immensely.
And so how so? Like for somebody like me who's single, Doris is single. I'm single in my 40s. Doris is single in her 50s. Christy has, the fairy tale husband, so we're just going to excuse her from this conversation for a few minutes.
Thank you.
How do you cultivate a good man? And especially, do you think men are set in their ways by the time they're 40 or 50 or 60 years old? Like, is there really anything you can do at that point? Or are you just kind of stuck with an old car?
Well, it gets harder as they get older, that's for sure. But it depends on the guy. Look at us. I mean, you see women in their 40s that act 65, and you see women that are 80 that act like they're in their 50s. So it depends on the person. But I think as a rule, as we get older, we do get more set in our ways, and it gets harder to break those old habits. I mean, you mentioned I just got the puppy. I mean, I don't even know why this puppy is in my home now, but I have fallen so in love with her that she takes up a big time of my day. Things have changed since Lucy's come into the house, but it's good. And so now she's working into the routine. But sometimes you just have to. I thought Lucy would be good for me, especially with Shining Service, because animals, as you know, are huge heart openers. And that's what's happening to me with her, because I just look at her and I can viscerally feel my heart expand. And it's just such a great feeling. And with the work that I'm doing now, with women and women in the military, you need a very big heart. You need to be very compassionate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we all agree with that. But back to balance. I mean, what is it? Yeah, I just don't think. I think we can have it all, but I don't know if we can have it all at once.
And that's kind of true, because I think, like Christy, I look at the two of us and go, some days we get our hair right, some days we get our makeup right, some days we're actually, got to the gym and come home in a reasonable state of acceptance and tolerance for ourselves. Right. And, but then dinner suffers, or the kids suffer, or, like last night I had, not a shining motherhood moment, and I was standing in the kitchen. I want to take my kids and literally toss them out the door. They were poking each other with swords and fighting. They were both sick. I just think there's too much. And balance, I think you're right, Linda. I think balance in our lives is unrealistic.
It is unrealistic. But, at some point when it gets to be too much, we just have to pull back. Because one thing I've learned is that when we are in that place where we're ready to tear out our own hair and everybody else's, nothing gets done. Whatever you do from that point is not going to work for you, because you're not in that, you're not in that zone. You're in that crazy place. So when I get into that crazy place now, no matter how busy I am, I stop, because, I just know it's not going to work. And it's only going to make me crazier than I already am. So, I stop and take a break and try to get back into that good zone before I continue on. And that's what women don't do. They ignore all of these signals that are telling you to stop, because we just go plowing through no matter what's going on.
Well, and I think we start to spin, and Christy and Doris, I'd like you to hear your thoughts on this, because Linda, I know when you're stressed out and you're really flying high and you've got too much on your plate, I can tell your voice goes up, the tone of your voice goes up, you're talking a mile a minute, you jump from topic to topic to topic to topic, which is very entertaining, I just sit here and listen.
I'm glad someone likes it.
Well, I know I've been there, so it's like from one sister to another, you just go, I got to get this done, and then I got that, and I got that, and then I got that, and I can't do it all. And it's so funny, because I think there's something about lending and friending. I see it with Christy, I see it with Doris, I see it with you, Linda. I'm so blessed to have the three of you on the show today. I couldn't anymore, the three of you, on so many different levels. But when we do get in that like overload zone, I think we lend and friend. We call one of our friends and we just tell them everything that's going wrong with our lives and blah, 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 blah. And then this amazing thing happens. I don't know about you guys, but I feel intense relief after I talk to you guys.
I do too.
So let's go to Christy first. Let's talk about sisters and friends and sister friends, and how does that work in your life?
Well, for me, a lot of times when I'm going crazy, or I walk through my house and I'm looking in every room going, oh my God, because there's stuff everywhere that I've just cleaned up, and I start to spin out of control. And a lot of times, we take our walks, and that helps me. You help me a lot by calming me down, no matter what's going on in my life. Or I call my sisters to, and just tell them whatever is happening. And, a lot of times I'm being a little irrational, or maybe not seeing things the way they are. I'm, like, they get worse in my mind. And, I do reach out to my family and my friends, and it gets me through a lot of the times. And sometimes I just don't talk to anybody because I don't want my crabbiness to wear off on them. But
or sometimes, I don't know about you guys, if you ever felt this way where you're like, I am so sick of listening to my own self complain. Like, I can't even take it anymore.
Absolutely. And then, with me, if I'm really in that mood, then I yell. And, that drives my husband crazy. Don't stop yelling. Don't yell at me. And sometimes you don't even realize that you're doing it. But, but you are. And I think, the thing that's helped me a lot in the last years, and that's a lot of self-work, is really realizing when I'm in that place and what I'm doing and why I'm there. Right. So, it kind of pulls me back to, okay, what I just said before, nothing good is going to happen from this place, so you better just sit down, take a deep breath, and get yourself back to square one.
That's really good advice for everybody listening today. Not all of us are able to yell. I know I'm a silent Sam when I'm really mad, I don't say anything. And it's really hard for me to get the words out. But then I write some really vicious email or something. Some nasty
you do.
It does. It comes out in many ways. But my name is Sandra Beck. I'm the host of Motherhood Talk Radio, along with Christy Holly, Doris Rivas-Brecky, and Linda Franklin. And we're just going to call this the Girlfriend Hour, because this is what we do. We friend and we lend and we share our stories so that we can feel better. So the rest of you that are going to go home tonight and yell at your kids and yell at your husband and yell at your pets, just think of the three of us or the four of us on the air today talking about what we do to try to maintain some sort of balance in our lives. If you guys want to check us out on iTunes, we are under on Motherhood Talk Radio. And I know, shameless plug for my other show. Had to happen.
Yeah.
Mom, here's your show, Motherhood Talk Radio, giving you interesting, inspiring, and influential information as you navigate everything from childcare to corporate formation. This is Motherhood Talk Radio, and we'll be right back after these. Hey moms, get ready for Living the Dream Mom with Nina Fry. Thursday mornings at 10, 9 a.m. Central on TogiNet.com. Living the Dream Mom is about the true realities of motherhood, the beauty and the rewards of watching your children grow.
All these moms have something in common. They put their kids first. It's not about the kids all the time and the diapers and the bottles and the breastfeeding. It's about showcasing the mother in motherhood, real moms in the real world. You get it? Now that's what the show is about. So every week, let's get together and we'll share these great stories with you guys. And I hope by the end of the show, you'll be saying, you know what? That is my life. Nina gets it. And I can't hardly wait to see what she brings me next week.
Don't miss the next Living the Dream Mom. It's real moms in the real world. Thursday mornings at 10, 9 a.m. Central. Living the Dream Mom with Nina Fry on TogiNet.com. Season Me is on TogiNet, a delightful, thoughtful, serious, and not-so-serious call-in show with Cecil Murphy and Twyla Belk. Tuesday nights at 8, 7 Central on TogiNet.com. You know Cease is the veteran author from 90 Minutes in Heaven, Gifted Hands, When a Man You Loved Was Abused, and many other books, as well as a mentor for writers. And Twyla Belk is an effervescent force known as the Gotta Tell Somebody gal. She's also a writer and motivational speaker who's always bragging on God. For more on Cecil Murphy, go to his website, Cecil Murphy, that's PHEY.com. And for Twyla, GottaTellSomebody.com. The show, Season Me, is a far-reaching, faith-based shared conversation and call-in show with questions welcome. A chance to get everything out in the open, from questions about writing to surviving sexual abuse to the topics of the day, all from a Christian worldview to help you. Season Me, Cecil Murphy, Twyla Belk, Tuesday evenings at 8, 7 Central on TogiNet.com. Welcome back to Motherhood Talk Radio, the most powerful voice in women's issues. For more information, check out the website, motherhoodtalkradio.com. Now, let's get back to the show with your hosts, Sandra Beck and Christy Holly.
Hey, mamas, this is Sandra Beck, and I'm here with Christy Holly and Doris Rivas-Brecky. Our guest today is Linda Franklin, the author of Don't Ever Call Me Ma'am, the Real Cougar Woman Handbook. You can check out her site at The Real Cougar Woman. You can also go to Shining Service Worldwide. She is an amazing, amazing woman. She's a powerful mentor in my life, and she brings a lot to the table today. And I want to ask Doris and Linda, since you guys are on the upside of hormones.
Or no hormones.
That's
No
a gentle
hormones.
way of putting it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking forward to it. I got to tell you, Christy, some months, it's like I have days where I just feel like, and I understand, my mom just died. I've had a lot to go through personally in the last year, but I can tell, I keep track of my cycle on my iPhone of all things with this thing called a period tracker. And I can tell when I'm, coming on the cusp of something, or I'm more emotional. I have no tolerance for anything. My frustration level is really high. And, I've been dating this guy and I've broken up with him 4 times, and it really does kind of have a hormonal influence to it. I'm not saying it's the whole reason. Part of it is me just being me and him just being him, but the hormones don't help.
No, and as we get older, they start to deplete. The estrogen depletes in your system. So I just wrote a blog on it, I think last week, about how women in their late 30s are starting to go into perimenopause, which is really, really, really young. But the reason for that is the stress that we're under. That really is making a difference. It's probably the environment, the food we eat, the stress, all the things that aren't good for us. But it definitely makes a difference. When you start to go in perimenopause, yes, that is certainly one of the symptoms, is you become a lot more irritable.
Oh, man.
There's lots of
what
others.
I have.
And you gain weight.
Oh, that's probably what I have.
And a lot of people, a lot of women lose their sexual desire. And then,
Okay, I still have that.
And then, well, that's good. And dryness, and you see skin things, and those senior moments, and all of that is something that you have to look forward to. But it's very, very treatable in my book. It's a very personal decision, and every woman has to make it of how she wants to deal with it. But you do have to deal with it. And some women say, well, I've gone through menopause and it's no biggie, and I'm on the other side now and I'm okay. But the way I feel about it is that it's no accident that both men and women, once they're past 50, start to get a lot more illness than they ever did before when they were younger. And when your hormones start to deplete, you're more prone for disease, and that's why I do the bioidentical hormone regime, because I believe not only does it get rid of unwanted symptoms, but it also keeps your body healthier so that you don't contract those diseases. Keeps your heart healthier, your bones healthier, your brain healthier, and it definitely helps your sex life too. So I'm a big fan of them. I know it's a controversial topic to many, but I've done a lot of research, and I still will do it, and I hope I'll be doing it for forever.
Well, I think the one thing that you really taught me, Linda, over the year or so we've been working together, is that, as I came out of my divorce and, I've got 2 little kids and I'm up to my eyeballs, with client stuff. The one thing that I learned from you, and especially from reading your book, is that it's so, so important for us to take care of ourselves, like, physically, emotionally, even just our clothing. You talk about in your book, about like, don't, wear the little prints, the matching stuff, don't go with the glitter, a lot of things that really resonate with me. And if I take care of my appearance and I take care of myself emotionally and physically, it's amazing how I seem to not age as fast as a lot of people who I just watch themselves running themselves into the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. It does, because if you feel, when you look in the mirror in the morning and you say, "Hey, not bad," then it travels through the day with you. When you get up on the wrong side of the bed and nothing goes right in it's a bad hair day and everything. No matter what you're doing, all you're doing is focusing on how bad you look. But, why shouldn't we take care of ourselves? I guess, again, just like the balance thing, women have been so ingrained that if you pay too much attention to yourself, then you're just being selfish. But in my home and the way I'm feeling, if Mama's happy, then everybody else is. So, that's my job, is to keep me happy.
Well, and the thing is, I don't know about you, Christy and Doris. I mean, Doris, you're always put together, with the exception of your move. It's very rare that
I knew you were going to bring that up.
I know, I had to bring that up because, you're always put together, and then you come in with like this weightlifter's belt on and these sweatpants and your hair all askew, and I'm like, oh, thank God she's normal. But I do feel better. When I have my ritual at night, I take my bath after the kids go to sleep. I read in the tub. It's my downtime, and I deep condition my hair. I might do my nails or, just stuff like that. If I don't do those things, I start feeling like the family pack mule, that just strap a bag of food on my face so I can keep going throughout my day, and I'm just going to plod on with, my flies swirling around me. And it's not a good feeling. And
No, it's not. And it's really, since the summer, because we get terrible humidity here in New York in the summer, so I've had my hair pulled back, and I haven't had it cut. And I keep it colored. I go for color, but I haven't cut it a lot. And the picture that you have on my website when my hair was shorter, I look so much better. But I haven't had the time. And then Lucy, the doggie, comes into the life, and you say, okay, she's taking up more time. So, but I'm looking in the mirror and saying, hey, Linda, you got to go and get your hair cut because this is crazy. It's time. It's time to pay a little bit more attention to you and a lot less to Lucy.
Well, and that happens with our kids. It happens with our spouses, with our parents, with our dogs, then our house. And there's just only so much time in the day. But I do find, and Christy, help me out on this one. The few times, I think I had last year 3 manicures and pedicures, like 3 in the whole calendar year. The year before, I think I had 1, that I had professionally done. And, just doing that one thing, like I think I might go there tonight after the radio show, something like one little thing that reconnects me back to being a girl, not a mother, not a company owner, not a philanthropist, not an author, not a speaker, not a radio show host, all these hats we put on all day long. There's sometimes, when we just want to feel like girls. And when I think of Lou Padgett, she's one of my best friends, and Maura McCanna, if we get together only once a year, and one of the things that Lou does, which is always funny to me, she'll bring like lip smackers, chapstick, she'll bring like glitter nail polish, just some little little thing to reconnect us, because I do think, and Linda and Doris, support me on this if you think I'm right, we never lose that little girl, want to dress up, look pretty, sparkly, even though we want to dress up and the guys want to take it off.
Nice. Hopefully.
Hopefully if we do it right. There's still that part of us that wants to retain that little joyful girl, do our nails together and giggle and talk. I don't think that ever goes away.
Well, it
Absolutely.
shouldn't. Yeah, it shouldn't. I've always been, since I was a little girl, I've been always fascinated by women putting on their makeup. Just watching them put themselves together. And and 50 years later, I still watch every makeover program on television. I love to see the befores and afters. And so I'll be on QVC or HSN or wherever or some daytime show. And if there's a makeover, like I come to a dead stop, I gotta see how they do it. And it never went away.
See, I'm a magazine girl. I get tons of magazines. I like to look at people and they're really fat and then they're really thin and go, wow, you should put some weight back on, or, you need to cut your hair. And then I go through and I do all the stupid makeup tricks. And in fact, Revlon and Maybelline and Almay just gave out these holiday packets when I was at Walmart the other day. And they were, they sold like an eyeliner, a mascara, a little brush, this little kit to make these cool like eyes. And I was like in the bathroom, at 10:30 at night after my kids were asleep. I had nowhere to wear these eyes, but I had so much fun just putting this makeup on. And, I used to love that when I was a teenager, and I still love it today. What do you love, Doris, that reconnects you in a little girl?
Well, I mean, you said it earlier. I do like to dress up. So, and it's more important to me even more so now because I am single again. And since I'm older, I want to put my best face forward. So I want to look good. I don't want to look 58. I want somebody to say, because I'm always honest about my age. So when I say I'm 58 and somebody will say to me, oh, my gosh, you still look, like you're in your 40s, that makes me feel good because that means I'm doing something right.
So, Doris, I'm going to ask you to speak candidly. You've been in my house. You've watched me get ready for dates. And when I have to go out to meet a guy, either I dress in some really horrific outfit with a skull on it that you hate, or, or I want you to share that experience with us.
Well, it's really cute that you'll try on all kinds of outfits, and you want everybody to contribute their opinions. And they're extreme. Like you said, you'll have those horrible skull things. And, I know that's one of your things, so I try to be respectful. But, there you are, blonde and very waspy, and then you put on a skull, and I'm like, oh, my gosh. But, no, and then you'll put on something slinky, like some of those beautiful knit things, and, you look incredibly feminine, which I'd rather see you, but... I know you like the skull thing.
I think like 5 pounds of bologna in a 2-pound bag. That's what my dad used to say. Well, I got to take us to commercial break. We're going to come back with more girl talk after these commercial breaks. I would like you guys to check us out on motherhoodtalkradio.com. Our host station is TogiNet. When we come back from the break, it'll be more girl chat with Linda Franklin, Sandra Beck, Christy Holly, and Doris Rivas-Brecky.
Mom, here's your show, Motherhood Talk Radio, giving you interesting, inspiring, and influential information as you navigate everything from childcare to corporate formation. This is Motherhood Talk Radio, and we'll be right back after these. Thursday nights, get ready for the Read My Lips Tips for Success radio show with your host, Linnea Millette, at 11:10 Central on TogiNet.com. What are the Read My Lips Tips for Success? Well, it's spelled out like this. R, realize it is possible. E, embrace all relationships. A, advance through adversity. D, develop your significance. M, manage your health and wealth. Y, yield to your natural abilities. L, listen to your heart. I, invest in yourself. P, persist by taking small steps. And S, serve others. Each week on the show, you'll find a safe haven whereby tips, insights, and strategies are shared by Linnea and her guests. Go to Linnea's website, readmylipstips.com. Then join us Thursday nights at 11, 10 p.m. Central for the Read My Lips Tips for Success radio show with your host, Linnea Millette, on TogiNet.com. Attention parents and teachers. Here is a series of alarming yet true facts about the current state of teaching reading in the United States. The federal government has spent close to $500 billion to improve reading ability, and yet we still have over 8 million students who cannot read on grade level. 440,000 students who have a total reading vocabulary of 50 words or less, and a national dropout rate of 1 new student every 26 seconds. Sadly, one of these could be yours. Fortunately, it's not too late to help. Introducing The Reading Show with Dr. Joe, a fast-paced, highly informative, easy-to-listen-to show led by nationally recognized reading authority, Dr. Joe Lakovich. For more on Joe on the show, check out his website, failurefreeonline.com. Listen in this week to learn amazingly simple ways to turn this problem around. The Reading Show with Dr. Joe, with your host, Dr. Joe Lakovich, Fridays at 10 a.m. Central on TogiNet.com. Welcome back to Motherhood Talk Radio, the most powerful voice in women's issues. For more information, check out the website, motherhoodtalkradio.com. Now, let's get back to the show with your hosts, Sandra Beck and Christy Holly.
Hey, mamas. This is Sandra Beck, and I've got Christy Holly, Doris Rivas-Brecky, and Linda Franklin. We've been talking about aging. We've been talking about how we reconnect with our little girl selves, because I just think that gives us the charge, the spark. I think it's the same thing when guys go out and, pretend they're NASCAR drivers on the freeway, or, run their lawnmowers until they're crazy, or, whatever it is guys do that allow them to reconnect with that little primal part of themselves. Linda, what kind of advice do you have, especially for somebody like me and Christy, who have kids? Our lifestyles. We've got kids, we got dogs, we got properties to manage. Christy's got a husband to manage. I have boyfriend to manage. There's only so much time in the day. And I love that you said that there's probably no real balance. We just get through it. What kind of advice do you give us, as a big sister?
Just don't take it too seriously, because if you're trying to fit into a template, or if you look at what other women are doing and try to mimic what they're doing, you're only going to end up frustrated and unhappy, because no two lives are alike. So you've got to just stay in your lane. Don't, and keep your eyes forward and go with it. But take time for yourself. I think that that's the most important thing. No matter if you have the husband or the boyfriend or the kids, there has got to be that time out for you. And like you say, we were talking about dressing before, and it's amazing. Do you dress for yourself? Do you dress for other women, or do you dress for men?
I dress for other women.
I think, it's so funny. I just wrote a blog a couple of weeks ago, and it's women are the most critical of one another. What do you think that the thing that they notice most about another woman? And it's the size of their waistline. It's how fat they are, or if they've got that muffin top.
Those bitches.
But then it went on to like a million different things: how you dress, your hairstyle, your smile, your skin. Your boob size, tattoos, length of the skirt, and teeth. Women are just like cruel to one another. Men are a lot more forgiving. They just want someone that's that's a confident, that makes them feel good, that's interesting. Right. Women are like, oh my God, I don't know why. You said all about girlfriends, but sometimes the women are, sometimes the girlfriends are really tough.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about that one week on our show, Linda, where I said, I sit in the pickup line, the valet line at the school when I pick up my kids, and I watch all the moms, walking in, and it's like a parade of women, and you just go like, wow, I wouldn't wear that. Wow, did she get heavy? You're right. That's like the first thing.
Those girls are not your friends.
What?
I said those girls are not your friends. Your friends don't talk about you like that, but
even with your friends, I mean, I'm guilty. I mean, I will go out, with friends, and I will look, and I'm saying I won't say it to them most of the time, but I'm going to say, "Holy cow! Did she look in the mirror before she left the house?"
I say that about myself.
And they're probably saying the same thing about me, but
see, but I want my girlfriends to say that. I want them to come and say to me, "San, you have one eyebrow, you need to have two," or things like that. Like,
something
or
really
if I'm
crazy,
wearing some clothes that just really look bad. I don't, that's friendship 101. You got to have my back. Tell me if my ass is too fat for these pants.
Yeah,
that's girlfriends.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree, and I will do it if it's something really horrible, like your skirt stuck into your panties, or if you do have the one eyebrow or your mascara is dripping down on your cheek. But sometimes people are very sensitive about their clothes and their style.
Right.
Yeah. So sometimes you have to know who you're dealing with. I think that's the key, right? Some women are really uber sensitive. So
you can't, if someone says, "How do I look?" and you're out, you're already out and there's nowhere to change, you can't say, "Wow, you know what, you do look really horrible in that," or you do look fat if they ask if you look fat, and you can't really say, "Dear friend of mine,
yeah, you do.
You look really bad."
Well, my husband. Sometimes I've been, getting dressed to go somewhere with my husband, and he'll take a look at me and say, "That's what you're wearing?" And then I get my back up. Yes, that's what I'm wearing. And if you don't like it, but then I usually go back and change because he's usually right.
Well, that's true. It's I think men have that baseline where they're like, it's all like she looks good, she looks great, she looks hot, and then it's either it's one or the other. Either that outfit looks great on you or it doesn't. There's no middle ground. I think with most guys like that, you're either attractive or you're not. But your girlfriends, man, and your gay guy friends, I will tell you. The best thing I ever did was work 10 years in Beverly Hills and West Hollywood and have a ton of gay guy friends because they would pick the what out of everything I wore.
I need some of those.
Yeah, they're good.
They're some of them are they're style conscious, and they look damn good whenever they go out.
They do, and but part of it is feeling good in what you're wearing, and the biggest thing I think for moms in my generation, the stay-at-home moms and the work-at-home moms and the working moms, is you got to keep your weight off. To me, it's like when you carry extra weight, it's hard on your heart, it's hard on your body, it's hard to get dressed, it's hard to feel attractive. I mean, it just kicks you in the ass in so many ways, literally.
And go to the gym. I mean, the exercise is the fountain of youth. It really, really is. And I've been very, I was going 3 days a week, and then I was down to 2 days a week, and then I got a cough, and that was a little cold, and so that was an excuse not to go on Thursday. And now I was down to one time a week, and I said, "Oh my God, this is terrible." And so today I went. It was my Tuesday with the trainer, and when I was on that elliptical, it was hard, and it used to be not so hard. Because my body is not is out of shape again by only going once a week. So it's the discipline. I'm going to go back to it. But you got to stay healthy because, as you ladies know, without that, the rest doesn't count.
It's true. Well, and the other thing I noticed too, and correct me if I'm wrong, girls, I have a friend, he was a guy I went out on a date with, and I almost fell out of the limousine because he was 81, and I swear he didn't look a day over 60. And I asked him, what do you credit your, you look great. I didn't believe how old he was. He had to show me his driver's license because I was, me, I have no skill set whatsoever with social things. I'm like, you're not that old. You can't be that old.
Grandpa.
He's like, really? I'm that old? And I'm like, you're not that old. But he was that old. And you know what he credited it was the good eating, going to the gym, but more than that, he said yoga. Because he said, as you age, your limbs become less supple and flexible, and you start to walk like an old person. And, and this guy's jogging up the stairs and sprinting this way. He's, he's in better shape than I am, and I'm half his age.
I have a friend at the gym. She's 88 years old, and she comes to train twice a week, and she lives by herself. She's still very, very active in business, and she was and she travel, and she's just, I mean, she's my inspiration. I said, well, my God, if I get to be 88 and still can come to the gym 2 times a week, I'm going to be very, very happy lady. And,
absolutely.
Absolutely. So we all have our role models, but, she credits, she wants to stay flexible. And so I think that you really have to vary your exercise. You've got to do the cardio for your heart. That's important. As you get into your 40s and head toward menopause, you've got to do the weightlifting to keep your bones strong. And then you've got to do the stretching or yoga or Pilates, just to keep your flexibility. So it turns into like a 3-prong approach.
Yeah, and I don't hear fudge anywhere in there.
When you're
no
good.
Fudge.
Listen, everybody, I think you can have whatever you want to eat, but you've just got to learn self-control. It's, a taste, a little bit, not the whole damn box.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know about you, but, Christmas time is coming and there's stockings to eat. And, we just got through Halloween with all the Halloween stuff. Though I did take advice from a girlfriend of mine who told me to take the kids' Halloween bags and put them in the freezer and keep the chocolate, frozen in there. And it does slow you down because I have to wait till it thaws to eat. And a lot of times.
That's why God made microwaves.
Yeah. Oh, thanks a lot, Linda. Yeah, that was a big help.
Oh, sometimes I put the ice cream in the microwave.
Yeah. So, Doris, what do you think? What do you credit for one of your secrets to your youthful looks? Because I think all 4 of us definitely do not act or look our age.
Well, I'm with Linda. Exercise for sure. I mean, Sandra, I have my pedometer on me all the time. So if I don't do at least 12,000 to 20,000 steps a day,
wow.
I'm upset with myself. So maybe I'm a little obsessive over it, but I really believe that's one of my secrets. And lots of water. I drink lots of water.
All right, Christy, I guess that means I got to give up my Diet Coke and get up from the computer screen at least once a day.
It helps. Yeah. I mean, and chasing after the kids, I don't know if that counts as exercise, but...
No, because I'm usually finishing the food on their plates. That's the problem. I chase them, and then there's a pile of food there. I'm like, oh, that looks good. And,
It's hard to resist.
It does. Christy, what do you credit? What do you credit yourself for looking good?
My young looks, my jeans. my mom and my dad look very young. So I don't have any beauty rituals. I'm always up and down with my weight, but I do try and drink a lot of water. And I think I'm sort of healthy. I'm not as healthy as I'd like to be, and I think I don't know. I think I'm going to be better. I'm going to be healthier. I'm going to look younger.
Well, that's the good thing, because we're coming up on the new year. We're coming up on 2012, and it's a great time to make some changes. My name is Sandra Beck. I'm the host of Motherhood Talk Radio. Our co-hosts today have been Christy Holly and Doris Rivas-Brecky. Our outstanding guest today has been Linda Franklin, the author of Don't Ever Call Me Ma'am. She is smart. She is sexy. She is independent. She is funny. Check out her website at Real Cougar Woman. Check out her other website at Shining Service Worldwide. And we want to wish everyone a very, very happy and safe shopping season because we got to get out there and get some specials.
Thank you for being a part of Motherhood Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Christy Holly on TogiNet.com. Join us every Tuesday as we